How do? Today we're going to be servicing the Freelander. It's a TD4 diesel model. We do full service, filters, oil. We've even got the BMW PCV filter mod, so we're going to do that as well. So let's get it up in the air and check the underneath. So first thing to look at under a Freelander is the prop shaft. And if that's loose and wobbly, yeah, I'd say them bushes probably need doing. Rear diff, yeah, don't know if you can see that, but they're choose my language carefully, they're not right. So yeah, we've got to do those at some point. First things first, a service. Customers complaining of a noise when driving along, almost like a wheel bearing, so we need to check those. My suspicion is it's the prop shaft, so we'll check the wheel bearings. If there's no play, we'll take the prop shaft off and see how the noise is without it, and then we know if it's still got the noise, we've got to change the bushes and bearings and VCU. So on to the service for now. So the Freelander has a sump guard, underbody protection, whatever you want to call it. So we've got to take that off first to get to the sump plug. So that's our first job. So the screws at the bottom of the bumper here, both sides, 4 screws along here, 2 13mm bolts there, a 13mm bolt there on both sides, plus you've got 2 10mm bolts at the back there, and the under tray comes off, and then you've got access to the engine. So the sump plug is a 15mm for the engine. Um, 6.8 litres to refill these, apparently, according to the book. So we've got 7 litres and hoping for the best. So we'll leave that to drain for a little while we check the wheel bearings. So the oil filter is inside that housing there. Got to undo that big nut and the top comes off, and it's like a small panel filter that goes in there. So that's the next job. It's got a 36mm socket, an extension bar. Shouldn't be very tight. No, there we go. A very low torque number. I haven't checked that yet, but I'll check that before I put it back on. Pull this plug out of the way so it's not going to be caught. Better put the tray back underneath. There's the inside of it. Stick that in the tray. And here comes the filter. Safe to say that needed changing. So new filter comes with a new sealing ring and sump plug washer. So we'll plop the filter back in there. I don't think it's sided. Just double check. Yeah, it's the same both sides. And that in there. Push that home. Now we need to put this seal on the housing. Little flathead screwdriver gets that removed. That's the old one. And we've got the new one. Get a bit of oil on it. That's it. Alright, put this back together. Carefully. There we go. So do that up hand tight for now, and I need to look up what the torque setting is. I'll let you know. There we go. So the torque setting is 25 Newton meters. It's actually printed on top of the housing, so that saves you looking up in the book. So I'm just going to put some oil in it, A, so I don't forget, and B, so it gets time to drain down and we can check the level. So another job we're going to be doing today, while we're servicing it, obviously air filter, we've done the oil filter already. We're going to replace the PCV breather filter. As standard, these have like a cotton or paper element type filter in them, but the common upgrade, replace it with a BMW system, which is just swap once and it's done. So we're going to do that. We're also going to take the EGR off. We haven't got a blanking thing. I didn't think to order one of them for it, but we will clear it out with some brake cleaner because apparently they get really clogged, so we're going to have a look at that as well. So we've got to take all this top section off just to make life easier. So yeah, we'll get on with that. So we're going to undo the 3 8mm bolts here that hold this top cover on. Just be careful because you have got to remove the oil filter cap to, sorry, the oil filler cap to get the other one on, because you don't want to drop no screws down there, so make sure you keep them clear. So that piece is off. Next, this section, the air filter housing, is held on with 5mm Allen keys. 3 at the top, and there's 2 right at the back. So we'll try and get to those now. That should be all of them undone. This is. There we go. Careful not to lose any. There we go, they're all in there. So there is your air filter. Not too bad, but obviously going to change that anyway. So the PCV breather is here. So we've got to undo these 3 torques, or female torques, or whatever they call them. Pull the injector out the way. As you can see, it's all shaped, so it will go back the right way to be able to get that off. So that's next. And that just comes off like that and can go out the way, like so. Right. Well, looks like we also need to take off the bleed off pipes by removing those little clips. So we need to do that carefully. That one's just clipped in there, so that can come out for now. Just got to get these off nice and carefully and try not to lose any. Okay, so again this is held down with 5mm Allen bolts by the looks of it. So I'm expecting this to be full and blocked up and horrible, but we shall see. Might have already had the mod done, we don't know. But we'll have a look. Right. So they're all loose. It would look like it's already had it. Yep, so this one's already had it. This part here gets replaced. Normally it's just a filter, but this one's been replaced by this inlet plastic inset type. So yeah, everything's good there. Yeah, everything's good, so we can put that back on. Leak off pipes back on. Need to make sure that they're all the way home. Two have gone in, one's gone in, two haven't, so little tap, job good. Carefully put these clips back on. One. 2. 3. So now we can put the injector loom back on. So that means we can take this off and get to the EGR. Looks like it's pretty much undone anyway. Someone's obviously not done it up properly before. Take a couple of hose clips off and we're good. So that's that out of the way. Right, so to take the EGR off, you've got an external hose clip there, and looks like 4-5mm Allen keys there and underneath, and obviously that's the hose clip. So that's the next job. There we go, so that's the EGR off. Don't know if you can see it. It's not too bad, this one, but we will give it a clean out. You can't really. We'll give it a spray out with some brake cleaner. There's quite a bit of filth in there. And then obviously leave it to evaporate before we put it all back together. But yeah, do that now. There we go. So no lumps anymore. Still a bit dirty. I'll just run some cloth around that, see if I can get a bit more off. But yep, it's a new air filter. Easy. Just pop it in. Oh, slide it on there, and then it sits in the home like so. I fill around there. That's all in. Right. Then put this housing all back on and get it all buttoned up. So that's us now done under here. It's all back together. New filters in, new oil filter, oil change, check the PCV, that's fine. Cleaned out the EGR, checked all the other fluids. So next is the fuel filter, which is underneath, well, in the rear wheel arch, cabin filter, and we've also got to whip off that prop and see if that makes a difference for the customer. So let's move on. So to get the fuel filter, it's up here. So we've got to take the wheel off and then take this panel off. So in there, you can see, that's your sedimenter. That separates the fuel and water, so we'll drain that in a minute. Got manky looking bits in here. Your fuel filter and fuel pump are behind here as well. So we can undo this whole cradle, pull the whole lot down and get the fuel filter. So that's what we'll do now. So there you go, that is, let's put that up there, the pump, sedimenter and filter. The earth's come off the casing, so I need to sort that out. It's gone a bit grotty. So what we've got to do is take off these push fit connectors, one either end, and then slide the filter out. It's going to be quite tight, so that's the next job we need to do. So the old one's out, here's a new one.
Thank you very much.
It says on there which way it's got to go in. Then put that back in the housing.
I seem to have picked out all the really Iraq 93 tunes, isn't it?
There we go. Then we can put it back together. Fuel filters changed and all back, wheel arches all back in. So next is the prop shaft. We're going to take this off just to see if that cures the noise that the owner is having. So it could either be the rear diff. I mean, the bushes has gone, which I've already shown you, so that probably wouldn't help. As I showed you earlier, these bushes have gone. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the prop shaft, let them have it back for a couple of days, see what they think. If that's cured the noise, then we know it's going to be prop shaft related, because all the wheel bearings are tight, everything seems fine, there's no play. So we shall take this off, as I say, let them have a go, and then if need be we'll change all the diff bearings, the prop shaft carrier bearings, and start there. So yeah, let's get this off. And the last job today on the Freelander is to change the cabin filter. There is some 6mm bolts under here on the passenger's 5 footwell. And then pull down. There we go. And there's a nice new Bosch one. There we go. Simple as that. There we go. All done.